AITA for hiding my wealth to intentionally deceive my fiancé and in-laws. I have been with my fiancé Jim for 5 years now. He has met my family, but has never been to their home. He has no idea what my parents do for work, nor has he ever really asked. I just said my parents owned their own fragrance business and left it at that. Growing up, my family was very well known in the community. They were very wealthy and powerful, and while that may sound like an ideal situation to be born in for most, it made my social life very difficult. Everyone I knew was sucking up to me because of my parents, or hated me because of them. It was hard to find genuine friends who didn't care about my family's status. When I moved for college, I went across the country, and made sure to have a fresh start to conceal my connection to my family. I really wanted to be treated like a normal person for once. People just saw me as a nice and genuine friend who worked opposed to a girl who had everything handed to her just playing around. It was a wonderful experience, and during this time I met Jim. I never hid anything or pretended, but I just left out details about my family because I really didn't want that to change how he viewed me. His family is upper middle class, father is a therapist, mother is a lawyer. His mother has always hated me, and insisted I was a gold digger because I must have recognized his family name. His family is well known in the college area, and were minor donors to the school, and clung to him to make him like me, stating she could see through me and the act I put on, i.e., the love for my fiancé. I always denied this and kind of put up with it. Earlier this month I found out I am pregnant. I had no idea that I could even conceive, so this was amazing news. We arranged a dinner as soon as possible to announce our pregnancy with our miracle baby. To keep it short, it did not go well. His mother-in-law accused me of baby trapping him to gain access to their wealth, and that the baby was probably not even mine and why I am so quick to rush into marriage with him. She then went on to say that I come from a bloodline of drunks and WH/res who probably have to receive community assistance. This is when I had had enough and dropped the bombshell that my family was actually the owners of X company, and I grew up in multimillion-dollar homes, went to a prestigious private school, and was a part of certain societies/clubs. When she called me a liar, I pulled out my Centurion black card and threw it on the table. She then swapped to saying I was trying to deceive them so that I could get away with hoarding my family's wealth to myself, get out of paying for things, inviting their family places, etc. His family said they would not support our marriage or attend the wedding. He's been different since, but understands why I did this, and I'm hoping we can get over it. He asked me to apologize to his mother, stating she was not entirely wrong. But was she not? I don't think anyone deserves an apology here. Plus he doesn't think she's in the right, he just wants me to try and smooth things over with her. He has always described her as a narcissist, and I see it. It's more complex than just him siding with her. I just don't want to apologize and give in if it's not deserved. Comment. The simple fact she started going at you in the opposite angle proves she doesn't think anyone would be good enough for her little boy, and the fact he actually said she wasn't entirely wrong. They do owe you an apology. You do not owe anyone an apology. You could easily raise your child on your own. And she's the one that is going to lose out, and your BF is an ass for not making her apologize and letting her say those things. Everyone knows about the famous, what to do if you win the lottery post. Rule number 1 on that is tell no one, even family. I absolutely understand her motivations because money can make people do things you'd never think they'd do. Honestly, this is not someone you should marry. Marry the son, marry the mother, especially since she has treated you appallingly and he has asked you to apologize. Has he ever asked her to apologize? If it was me, I'd be terminating the pregnancy and moving on with my life. This is not a healthy way to start a marriage. I do think it's weird that he has never met your fam 5 years in. I keep my parents at a distance, but they've met anyone I dated for 2 years or more. That being said, I understand family is complicated though, and if he never insisted on more information, it doesn't make you an ought to not bring it up. I would absolutely not marry this man unless he has your back %100 with his parents. I was engaged to someone at one point whose family was both intrusive and disrespectful. It was not my place to fight them. I had never been anything but nice. It was on my ex to set appropriate boundaries with his parents, and I can't imagine signing up for a lifetime of that shit if they weren't willing to do so. Yeah, the big issue here is the fact that he wants you to be the one to take one for the team and apologize to his mother to smooth things over. Even if he agrees that she's wrong and terrible, you're going to have problems if he won't back you up and set boundaries with her. Mom, that was out of line. I need you to apologize to Up and never say anything like that again, otherwise we are not going to be around you. It's his family, he needs to be the one to set the boundaries. So I would have a serious discussion with him about how he sees his/your relationship with his mother going forward, whether he can agree to some boundaries for you as a couple, and how you will handle conflict. Maybe couples counseling is called for. Now, I also think you were a bit in the wrong when it comes to the information sharing. I get wanting to be seen/loved for who you are. But when it comes to an engagement/marriage where you're talking about spending the rest of your lives together, it does feel like a pretty big piece of yourself that you were holding back from him. So it's understandable if he's feeling some type of way about that, and I do think you should apologize. It probably is making him feel like you don't trust him. But I would also argue that at the moment, that's a secondary issue to whether you can agree on navigating the relationship with his toxic mother. Because if you get married without coming to an understanding on this, just know that you're in for a lifetime of either appeasing her or being the bad guy while your husband takes the easy way out. So, I guess mostly NTA but soft ESH on your part. I agree with you. I'm assuming the issue here is he knows that his mother will never take one for the team, apologize let alone admit she is wrong. So he's asking his partner to do it in the hopes it will lessen the blow up, not because he thinks his partner is actually wrong. I 100% don't think she should apologize BTW, but he probably needs to come to terms with the fact that his mother's behavior is on her, and if going low contact to protect his future wife and child is what it takes, that's what he needs to do. Don't apologize to his mother. She is 100% wrong. You kept this away from him not out of malice but because you didn't want to be judged by your parents' success. I'm guessing you are tired of everything being about money in your life. His mother owes you an apology. So does he. It's not like you coerced him to signing a prenup before the wedding. I suspect you are not worried about him stealing your family wealth. Get a couples counselor, he might be having some inadequacy issues and probably has serious mommy issues given how she acted. She is also probably feeding him BS. Set firm boundaries with his mother, she has no right to talk to you like that. Next story 2. AITA if I want to talk to other guys at parties because my boyfriend broke up with me. My ex-BF and I were together for almost 2 years, our 2-year anniversary is in 2 weeks. My ex-BF broke up with me because he's grieving his mother's death, with his 100% valid. He didn't grieve all the way, and the emotional toll and stress of that and worrying about me took a toll on him. He broke up with me and said he doesn't want to hold me back from anything. I love him and don't want him to feel like I'm not going to be there for the worst moment of his life. We might get back together one day because we're both still so young and need to grow as people before we get back together. That being said, if he doesn't want to hold me back, if I flirt without people, go on dates with other people, make out with other people, or download any dating app, we are permanently broken up and can never get back together. Before he told me the dating apps clause, I downloaded Tinder and starting talking to guys. I didn't want any hookups, I just wanted to talk to people who haven't seen me cry in the shower. I deleted the app because the conversations were honestly boring. It feels like I'm still being controlled. It's not a breakup if you are still dictating who a person talks to and what they do. We've gone on a break before and I made out with a guy because we were on a break and I told him about it. He was the most pissed and hurt I've ever seen him. I've apologized and tried to make up for it as much as I can. This happened a year and a half ago. He's worried this is going to happen all over again. He also says that he just doesn't want to see me like that. I'm going to honestly admit I've cheated on him in the past by flirting with other guys while we were dating, but we've talked about it and moved on. He says he forgives me. I honestly don't know what to think and how to move forward. I don't want to be dating other people, but I also want the freedom to talk to other guys at parties. I really need some input on this. Comment. I'm very sorry for your boyfriend's loss, but this isn't fair to you. You got dumped, then you got put in limbo. I'm not saying he's a bad person, but he's going through a lot and probably not thinking too clearly about what he's asking of you. Tell him you'll always be there for him as a friend, keep things platonic with him, and accept that this relationship is done for. He is a bad person. He doesn't get to break up with you and then tell you what you can and can't do. That's not how it works. Don't be his friend, don't be in his life at all. Go do what you want to do without concern for what he thinks about it. If he cared about you and what you're doing, he wouldn't have broken up with you. Accept the death of the relationship and move on. He's making rules on a girl he broke up with. He's a bad person. Or actually looking at it another way, you're just making a terrible choice to let a guy who dumped you keep you from moving on. We might get back together one day because we're both still so young and need to grow as people before we get back together. Can't grow if you can't go, you're broke up, leave him alone, cut the strings, stop giving him power over you, you are letting him control you and dictate what you can and cannot do. This is on you, not him. Good luck. So, he wants to break up with you but you're not allowed to do anything that a single person is allowed to do? That's red flag controlling behavior. Also, saying flirting is cheating is a stretch. It's definitely not good, but very different from hooking up with someone else or even emotionally cheating. It's subjective since being nice can be seen as flirting by jealous people. Sounds to me like he wants to keep you on the hook but doesn't want to put in boyfriend level effort. This setup he's trying to push on you means you wait around forever and he doesn't have to take you on dates or give you attention. Also, is he allowed to see other people while you're broken up? I think he's trying to have it both ways and you deserve better. This right here, he has you on the hook but doesn't want to deal with you right now. This isn't a relationship even if you're 20. If my mom died I wouldn't then break up with my person. That's when you lean I to them. It's either you're broken up or not and I highly recommend broken up. Even if you care and love him and it's hard and he acts like you're the worst person in the world. It's his way of getting you to break up with him so he can blame you later is what it really sounds like.